Hey, it's Jonathan Shiver here. Welcome back to this video. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how some candidates are using personal websites to completely eliminate the competition when it comes to looking for work. Look, it's 2016. If you have a stunning website, and I mean stunning, if you have a website that demonstrates your skills, that really conveys your experience, you've made a big difference in your previous company, through a case study on your website, you're able to demonstrate the role you've played and the contribution you made, which translated into a major success for the company, then you will be amongst 1% using a website as a strategy to get a job. You're definitely a rarity among the people using websites as a resume. If this website has testimonials from your previous colleagues that worked with you recently, on the menus on this website, you have an infographic resume of your story. The story is full of engaging pictures and text that tells the story of your achievement in the same way a normal resume, couldn't. When an employer sees this website, compared to your competitors, they're at least going to be intrigued. It will pique their interest. They'd like to know the person behind this website. The great thing about a job seeker having their own website is that most people are just not doing it, which makes you stand out from a fiercely competitive crowd. Imagine another scenario. You get to the interview stage. This website then becomes a talking point. The content within this website will be a talking point. Why? Because you've hired a great copywriter to describe your personality and achievements. Many employers are looking for that person that can fit in a team as much as their experience and skill. It's rare for a job seeker to have their own website. Yet this is such a powerful tool and a strategy if you want to stand out from the crowd. If you look at it in a few years' time, having your own website will become the norm. But that's not the case right now. Right now, you should take advantage of the fact that not everyone represents themselves online as well as they could. Now, according to a survey carried out by Domain.me, 70% of job seekers reported that they believed any potential employer would review their online presence before calling them for an interview. Now, Workfolio, a company that develops professional visibility application, notes that 56% of hiring managers are more impressed by a potential candidate's personal website than any other personal branding tool. In a Domain.me survey, respondents were asked which is more important for long-term career success, a personal website or a resume. The majority, 63%, favored websites. So in summary then, it's quite clear that having a personal website increases your chances of being noticed by hiring managers, based on the surveys done by Workfolio and other reputable research companies. Most hiring managers usually take their time to check the online presence of candidates long before they call them for interviews. So having a personal website also gives you an edge against the rest of your competitors, based on the fact that 50% of hiring managers are impressed with a personal website. In conclusion, having a personal website will make it possible for hiring managers to notice you much more easily, which in turn increases your chances of landing that dream job. So, a quick quiz at this stage. Just try to answer, how does a personal website increase your chances of getting noticed? A website is really more than a resume. Your website is going to help you become more discoverable, because more and more people are using the internet to find people. Your website is a living resume, but more dynamic. Although you can create awesome resume, a website is so much more than that. First, it can be whatever you want it to be. A personal website is where employers and recruiters can go read about who you are, what you do, your goals and aspiration, and of course, the place to contact you. Let's dispel some myths. A lot of job seekers feel they don't need a website and find themselves asking the question, how will it benefit me? There is a common misconception that this is keeping people from creating an awesome personal website. Let's tackle some of these myths. I have no idea where to start. Most people don't know where to start, even though there are millions and millions of websites out there right now. you don't feel confident in your skills and expertise and don't know what the options are, the good thing is you don't have to do this yourself. If you've never seen a code before in your life, that's fine. All you need to do is hire a developer for say 70 to 80 bucks, and you can create a very dynamic website that's really going to showcase your accomplishments, your stories. Here are some suggestions. You can just go on your local websites or Craigslist or Google listings, and you'll find loads of developers that can actually create a website for you. The second myth, you don't need to code. Actually, you don't need code. Although coding skills are helpful in creating a website, they aren't necessary. It really depends on what route you want to take with your website. The simplest ways to create your website will be a self-hosted option through WordPress. Okay, WordPress is a very simple tool to use. You don't need any coding. Once it's set up, you can then add pictures, videos, you can do all sorts of things with WordPress. We'll talk a bit about that later. Owning a website is way out of my budget. You can get a really decent website for less than $100. You can have that website running for a whole year. All you have to do is purchase a domain name and a web hosting for 1 year. You're looking at under $100. When you're thinking about a website, you have to think about two things. Obviously, where to host the site. This is where the non-techie people get really afraid. You don't have to be worried about that. You don't have to get involved in the techie side. That's not what this course is about. What you need to do is hire someone else that can do that part for you. Like I was saying, there's two places you have to think. First, you need a domain name. Basically, what are you going to call your site? So that when someone asks or when your site is Googled, it comes up on a search. So the ideal situation is to have your real name as a domain, for example, yourname.com. If your name is already taken, then you may have another domain extension, like you might have yourname.me or yourname.net. So these other extensions could be available. Now, if all those are taken, what you can do is put some letters in between your name. So you can say john3smith.com or john3smith.net.com. There's so many variations. So where can you find out where to create these domain? Well, there's a place called GoDaddy. You can buy your domain name from GoDaddy and other places as well. It can be bought for $9.99. And then where to host the site. You have to find out where to host the site as well. So again, an example of that is peterhenry.com. You can host a site on GoDaddy, but I do find that a bit complicated, but there are other places to host the site. HostGator is a company that lots of people use to host sites as well. The bottom line, a personal website is not that expensive, but extremely useful in terms of your strategy for getting that dream job. It's imperative that you have a personal website. Some of the costs that you might incur will be just hiring someone to, put this thing for you together. As well, you might want to, buy some themes. There are tons of free themes out there, but you can also get some premium themes, range from $50 to less than $100 for really nice looking themes. The traditional WordPress themes have lots of different choices that you can choose from as well. So here are a few quick steps, action steps for setting up your site. You need to have the following pages as a minimum, like an index page, about me page. You have to have an about me page, you have to have a contact page and a privacy page. But you don't want to stop there. You want to include your resume, a list of your accomplishments, portfolio of what you do, photos of yourself, a video introduction, anything else that will support your brand. Keep it all relevant to what your employer would like to see, the benefit that you will provide your employer. Publicize your content. You want to publicize your content in all the different social media sites. So you want to tweet about it. You want to mention it on Facebook. You want to mention it in the groups on LinkedIn and all the relevant different forums. So in summary, you've learned about the importance of having your own website as a way to separate you from the competition. You also learned where to find a domain name. You can buy your domain name from GoDaddy and you can host your site on HostGator. You can also hire someone to create a custom website for you. The bottom line, it's important to have that personal website. Now, a task. In the resource area, you'll find more reports about websites, about personal websites. Make sure you read through those so you get a better understanding. So I'll see you in the next video.